So let's start with the art of reconstruction. This is basically the first step of surgery, and this is the foundation stone of surgical outcome. Localization test. While constructing a bone, what are we looking for? We are looking for a self-healing bone, so that certain complications related to hypotony, leak, suture-related problems, and of course the hyphema or endophthalmitis can be avoided. We are looking for least surgical induced astigmatism, so better unaided visual acuity can be achieved. We are looking for the tending the pre-op astigmatism if possible. Suppose we are having the high gestalt astigmatism pre-existing, so we can switch our incision to the temporal side. So we can aim the pre-existing astigmatism as far as possible. And of course, the complication will be. Before we start to the video and practical details, let's understand certain basic things which really help us to construct a good bone. Ideal bone should be the squares, meaning thereby that if we are constructing a 6 mm or 6.5 mm tunnel, then the width should be 6 mm. But practically it is not possible because if we are maneuvering from 6 mm distance, then it is very much difficult to maneuvering intraocularly and there is interlocking of instruments. So what we can do that we should construct a bone that having the minimum length, that of course in the case of SICS we are planning to implant a rigid IOL that is 6 to 6.5 mm depending on the grade of the nucleus, and maximum width that is in any case is around 2.5 mm, because if we construct a bone that is having the width around more than 2.5 mm, then again there is a difficulty for maneuvering and there is no interlocking of the instruments, so we have to construct a bone that is around 2.5 mm in width and 6.5 mm in length. For get minimally surgical induced astigmatism, we should construct a bone that is as posterior as possible from the center of the cornea. The length has to be minimum to get minimum surgical induced astigmatism. But we should not forget the importance of the internal incision, because this is the most crucial factor to determine the surgical induced astigmatism, since it is not stretchable. So we have to make according to the grade of the nucleus. The size of the internal incision should be according to the grade of the nucleus, and the internal incision should not get torn, so that there should not be any irregular surgical induced astigmatism. For external incision, their external incision should be within the astigmatic neutral funnel, that is the 2 imaginary line, but practically it is not possible to construct a whole bone all the times within this funnel. So what we can achieve that we should construct a bone, our bone should maximum part should be within this funnel as far as possible. Incision can be of different shape and size. There can be the frown incision, there can be the straight incision, but ideal one is the frown. And in modern SICS, there is no role for the straight incision, because the straight incision has a tendency to slide down, so we have to suture it, and there is the high chances of the surgical induced astigmatism in case of the straight incision. So we have to, there is only a psychological barrier that can prevent us to make a frown incision, nothing else. So if we are doing the straight incision, then we immediately shift to the frown incision in maximum cases. So let's move on to how do we construct a bone in SICS. This is basically a triclinial bone. External incision, sclerocorneal tunnel, then the internal incision. Another view of this, external view. Then the sclerocorneal tunnel and the internal incision. While we are dissecting, we should respect the contour of the globe. What I mean is, while we are constructing bone, we should not move hands here and there, but what we can do this, we just shift our hand according to the contour of the globe little bit, so that when we are dissecting a side pocketing, then we can just shift our hand a little bit, so that we can just follow the contour. Otherwise, either we can end up with the watermelon or with the premature entry. But how we can achieve this? Because watch this video. While holding the instrument, an instrument should be within the pen holding fashion. And movement, every time movement should not be on the wrist joint, should be on the fingertips. There should be a rolling movement so that we can give minimum stress and we can achieve what we can actually want. There are hardly any movements with the wrist joints. While we are dissecting the side pocketing, just slight tilt of the hand so that we can just follow the contour of the globe. For the preparation, the superior plus middle suture is usually taken. For the this really helps us in the nucleus theory as far as the exposure is concerned. My preferred choice is the weight first side port. This is really a surgeon's discretion. Then the air bubble injected and the trepiding glue. Twist in the API capsule. And this is washed with the viscoelastic that really helps us to make the globe firm so that the color construction becomes easier. Then the next is conjunctival flap pass patient. We should construct a flap that has the minimum length so that we should not give a relaxing incision, otherwise the conjunctiva already has the tendency to run away. Then the minimum cautery. Otherwise, if we do the cautery too much, then the shrinkage of the collagen fibers is there, then the surgically induced astigmatism, then the fire. So this is the after preparation and the initial steps. This is the wound is ready for the external incision. For external incision, we should hold the fixation force here. And you can notice that we are not getting any relaxing incision over here, so that there is not any tearing of the conjunctival flaps there, so that the globe can be firmly hold and the fixation is good, so that the external incision and tunnel construction becomes easier. The external incision was made with the 15 number blade with the up to 2/3 thickness of the sclera. For the tunnel construction, again the fixation is very important, as I have said. Then after this, there is this sweeping movement of the crescent blade, so that we can assess the depth of the external groove. While dissecting, one can able to visualize the crescent blade not very finely, not very faintly. So that this is the basically ideal depth, so that we can assess that by seeing the reflex of the crescent blade, one can assess that we are on the right plane and right depth. As soon as you reach the limbus, then follow the contour of the globe. Although most of the textbook can mention that heel down, but practically you just focus on the tip of the blade rather than on the heel of the blade. Then the side pocketing is there on the other side also. While dissecting the tunnel, one should respect the contour of the globe. That is most important. Otherwise, there is cut through of the incision, or either in the premature entry or the superficial buttonholing is there. For the internal incision, the keratome should be parallel to the iris. For the entry, internal incision, just take the blade sideways so that you cannot should not create another plane. And as soon as you just notice that there is dimple down, you can notice the folds in the cornea. Then you enter very gently. Keratome has to be sharp, so that there should not be any jerky movement to rupture the anterior capsule. Then cut sideways. Anytime just to feel that chamber is shivering, just use viscoelastic without agitations. Although complications regarding the bone related, not too many, but certain times we do across superficial thick flap, and because that's buttonholing is there, either thick flap because that leads to the premature entry, or sometimes the disinsertion. That can be managed, because if we are getting the disinsertion, then just suture it or make another incision anterior to this, or if it is possible, if it is not, then convert to the ECC. That we can do how we can convert in the subsequent speakers. Suppose we get encountered the buttonholing. That's watch this how we can manage this and complete the surgery as we had planned. While we are dissecting, as soon as just notice that we just not respecting the control of the globe, as there is buttonholing is there. So we may again with the decent plate make the stitch a little bit deeper. Then the forward with the respect of the contour of the globe. Every time we should take care of that, we should not forget our plane. Otherwise it is very difficult. So just after buttonholing, just respect what other plane you have created, just follow that plane while constructing a tunnel. Thank you.